begin the program, let us all rise for the national anthem, which will be followed by Tamil Thai Varth.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे நீராறும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ் பரத கண்டமிதின் தெக்கணமும் மதிசிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியர்ந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே
I call upon Dr. V. Selvam, Executive Director, M.S. Swaminathan Research Foundation, to present the welcome address.
Honorable Vice President of India, Honorable Minister for Fisheries, and Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Government of Tamil Nadu, respected Professor, distinguished guest, and dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, colleagues and friends. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to you all on behalf of M.S. Swaminathan Research Foundation as well as Tata Trust, our partner in our endeavor to eradicate malnutrition from India. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the Vice President for readily accepting our request to inaugurate the National Consultation on Leveraging Agriculture for Nutrition. The purpose of the consultation is to share experiences of various stakeholders, including government agencies, non-governmental organizations, as well as research institutions, as well as to cross-learn among these stakeholders to make the agriculture more nutrition sensitive. As Professor often mentioned, hunger is classified into 3 types. The first one is related to calorie deprivation, and the second one is related to, which is the calorie deprivation is, as you know very well, that it is mainly because of inadequate uptake of food. The second one is related to protein deficiency, and the third is the deficiency of micronutrients such as vitamins, iodine, iron, and other minerals. Thanks to Green Revolution, which made us to produce enough quantity of food to feed our large population, and also thanks to the government policies and mechanisms such as Public Distribution System and Food Security Act, which ensures access to food by all, which actually resulted in that calorie deprivation is almost we have overcome now. But the other 2 forms of hunger still persist, and particularly the micronutrient deficiency is a serious problem. And in the past, we adopted various approaches, both drug-based as well as food-based approaches. Now, more importance is given to promote food-based systems. In this context, Professor Swaminathan conceptualized the idea of a farming system for nutrition as a long-term solution for the all forms of malnutrition. MSRF, in partnership with the government and international agency, developed and experimented with various models of farming system for nutrition, particularly in the tribal-dominated regions of Koraput in Orissa, as well as in Vidarbha in Maharashtra. And these experiences will be shared during this workshop. Apart from this, in the workshop, other stakeholders will also share their experience. And the expected outcome of this consultation is some practical ideas and schemes that can be immediately implemented in large scale to make agriculture more nutrition sensitive. With these few words, I once again welcome you all to the important consultation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Selvam. On behalf of Professor M.S. Swaminathan, founder MSSRF, I now request you, Dr. Selvam, to felicitate the Honorable Vice President Sri Venkaiah Naidu, the Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Rural Development, Government of Tamil Nadu, Thiru R. Doraikannu, and the Honorable Minister for Fisheries, Government of Tamil Nadu, Thiru D. Jayakumar. Thank you, sir. I now request Professor Swaminathan to speak a few words on this occasion.
Our respected and honorable Vice President of India, and who has also been a great source of encouragement to this foundation. Many occasions you have said.
Admirer, sir.
Thank you, sir. We admire you, so it's a mutual admiration. Honorable Ministers of Tamil Nadu government, senior officers, my colleagues in the foundation, all the partners in this program of trying to promote a malnutrition-free India, and ladies and gentlemen. Sir, I am very grateful to you. You not only accepted our invitation, but you came before time. Very good example of somebody who has come ahead of time. And this particular idea of linking agriculture and nutrition has its genesis from the Great Bengal famine. The Bengal famine provided the backdrop to India's independence. Mahatma Gandhi, who was at Naokali at that time, he said that to those who are hungry, God is bread. And this God of bread should be available in every home and hut in independent India. That was his desire. What he called the God of bread should be available to every home and hut in our country. From that time onwards, our governments have tried their best to overcome hunger and malnutrition in our country. More hunger, I would say, which is calorie deprivation. For example, this state has been a leader. They are the first to introduce universal noon meal program for all school children. It's called Nutritious Noon Meal Program. Gradually, we try to achieve self-sufficiency in food grain, and the so-called food security has been achieved. That is the availability of enough food. In fact, the National Food Security Act makes a commitment, legal commitment. One of the few acts in the world makes a legal commitment to provide 5 kilograms of wheat or rice and so on. While we have come a long way in ensuring food security, we are still far away from nutrition security. In fact, the Act itself provides a statement that we should slowly move towards nutrition security. Nutrition security includes micronutrients like iron, iodine, zinc, vitamin A, vitamin B12, and many of the other micronutrients, while food security may mean just enough rice or enough wheat and so on. But small deficiencies of micronutrients cause a lot of problems. The eye, for example, in fact, and also your ability for in studying the school, learning, all of them depends upon the cognitive abilities of a child depend very much upon nutrition. This is why a few years ago, with support from DFID of England and also our own government, both state government and Government of India has launched a nutrition mission. We started a program to marry agriculture, nutrition and health in a triangular relationship, because agriculture is the basis of providing the food. But how do you mainstream nutrition in the design of the farming system? So we developed this procedure called Farming System for Nutrition, in which nutrition is mainly based. But that requires a lot of support. For example, it has to have what we call genetic gardens of biofortified crops, like sugar beet, like sweet potato, like brinjal, like moringa, many of these naturally occurring plants which are rich in micronutrients. You put a garden from which farmers can choose their own crops according to farming system. So the farming system, since more than 40%, 50% of our population to derive their livelihood from agriculture, agriculture is a very important method of introducing nutritional criteria, malnutrition-free India. And that's why we started this program called Leveraging Agriculture for Nutrition. It's called Leveraging Agriculture for Nutrition. But program is progress. There is a universal interest now in introducing nutritional criteria in the design of the farming system. And the farming system itself, fortunately today, is enabled by supporting agronomic support. For example, at the instance of our Prime Minister, the soil health card is being given to every farmer today. Soil health will also lead to plant health. Plant health will lead to human health. So there is this relationship between soil health, plant health, and human health. And that is why soil health cards are very important to start off, because from the soil you create plants which are rich in nutrients, and then the people who consume them develop this nutrient. Well, this particular meeting is designed to review what we have done under the farming systems for nutrition and how to spread it also. One is there's a lot of data available, but how do you get the farmers do it? What kind of public policy support? I've always said the Green Revolution was a product of interaction between technology and public policy. Public policies are people like you are so very important. This is why the public policy support and political support, administrative support is very important. I strongly believe, although even today the newspapers, the media are full of details of malnutrition, of hunger and so on, even in states like Delhi, people, I don't know how far they are correct or not, but nevertheless, we talk about malnutrition in the world, India comes on the top. I think that's unnecessary. Just as we abolished food insufficiency, we should also avoid nutrition insufficiency. That means we should concurrently pay attention to calorie deprivation, protein hunger, and hidden hunger caused by micronutrient deficiency. If all these three, along with drinking water, are attended to, then you have food nutrition security. So, sir, once again, I thank you for your presence. Your presence is very important. Having served in Rajya Sabha when you were there, now you are the chairman, I'm so happy about it. And I think it is coming under some control, Rajya Sabha now. It was a very difficult situation. But nevertheless, I know you have deep interest in agriculture. I have visited your farm, and I want to thank you for your support to the primary industry of India. Agriculture is the basic industry of India, and agriculture is the basis of nutrition security. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. I request Thiru R. Duraikannu, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Government of Tamil Nadu, to kindly deliver his address.
பெண்ணினத்தின் பேருளி வீரதமிழ் பூமிக்கு வந்து உதித்த வீரத்தாய், தமிழகத்தின் காவல் தெய்வம், மக்கள் போற்றும் மகராசி புரட்சித் தலைவி அம்மா அவர்களின் மலர்பாதம் வழங்குகிறேன். விழாவிற்கு வருகை தந்து சிறப்புரையாற்ற உள்ள இந்திய துணைக்கண்டத்தின் மேதகு குடியரசு துணைத் தலைவர் அவர்களே, இவ்விழாவிற்கு என்னை அனுப்பி வைத்த, வாளெடுத்து போரிட்டு வரவழைத்த காவிரிதனை அம்மா காட்டிய வழியே அறவடி என வாஞ்சோயுடன் வாதிட்டு காவிரி நதி நீர் பங்கீட்டினை கண்ணியத்துடன் பெற்று தந்த விவசாயிகளின் காவலர் குடிமரத்தின் படி நாயகர் எங்கள் பாசமிகு தமிழக முதல்வர் அண்ணன் அவர்களுக்கு எனது பணிவான வணக்கங்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். உழவர்தம் வாழ்வு உயர உன்னத பணி ஆற்றும் உத்தமர் மற்றும் நிறுவனர் தலைவர் பேராசிரியர் ஏரறிஞர் அவர்களே, இவ்விழாவிற்கு வரி தந்து சிறப்பித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கின்ற வணக்கத்திற்கும் போற்றுதலுக்குரிய புரட்சித் தலைவி அம்மாவுடைய அமைச்சரவையில் மீன்வளத்துறை அமைச்சராக பங்கேற்றிருக்கும் எங்களுடைய வணக்கத்திற்கும் மரியாதைக்குரிய அண்ணன் அவர்களே, மற்றும் இந்நிறுவனத்தின் உணவு பாதுகாப்பு இயக்குனர் டாக்டர் ருக்மணி அவர்களே, மேலும் இக்கருத்தரங்கத்தில் பங்கு பெறும் விவசாய பெருங்குடி மக்களே, வேளாண் அறிஞர்களே, மாணவ மாணவிகளே, ஆசிரியர் பெருமக்களே, பத்திரிகை மற்றும் ஊடகத்துறை நண்பர்களே, அனைவருக்கும் எனது வணக்கங்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். சுவடு இருந்தால்தான் சித்திரம் வரைய முடியும். நல்ல உடல் ஆரோக்கியமே வாழ்வின் வெற்றிக்கு அடிப்படை. வாழ்வில் உணவின் அவசியத்தை உணர்ந்தே தனி ஒரு மனிதனுக்கு உணவில்லை எனில் ஜகத்தினை அடித்துருவோம் என்று பாடினார் பாரதியார். புரட்சித் தலைவி அம்மா அவர்களும் ஆட்சி செய்த காலத்தில் காலத்திலும் அம்மா வழி நடக்கும் நமது மாண்புமிகு தமிழக முதல்வர் பாசமிகு அண்ணன் எடப்பாடியார் தலைமையிலான அரசும் வேளாண்மை துறைக்கு சிறப்பு கவனம் செலுத்தி பல்வேறு திட்டங்களை செயல்படுத்தியதன் விளைவாக உணவு தானிய உற்பத்தி, பயிர் வகை உற்பத்தி மற்றும் சிறுதானிய உற்பத்தி ஆகியவற்றில் சாதனை அடைந்ததற்காக இந்திய அரசின் உயரிய விருதான கிருஷி கர்மான் விருதை தமிழக வேளாண் துறை 4 முறை பெற்று தமிழகத்திற்கு பெருமை சேர்த்துள்ளது. மாண்புமிகு தமிழக முதல்வர் அண்ணன் எடப்பாடியார் அவர்கள் வேளாண்மை துறை மூலம் விவசாயத்திற்கென பல்வேறு சிறப்பு திட்டங்கள் வகுக்கப்பட்டு செயல்படுத்தப்பட்டதன் பயனாக தற்போது தேவைக்கு போதுமான அளவில் உணவு தானிய உற்பத்தியை செய்யும் அளவிற்கு முன்னேற்றம் அடைந்துள்ளோம். உணவு தானிய உற்பத்தி தனிர்வு என்ற நிலையில் இருந்து ஊட்டச்சத்திற்கான விவசாய முறைகள் என்ற காலகட்டத்திற்கு எடுத்து செல்ல வேண்டிய நிலையில் உள்ளோம். ஊட்டச்சத்து தொடர்பான குறைபாடுகளை வயதிற்கேற்ற உயரமின்மை, எடை குறைவு, இரத்த சோகை ஆகியவற்றோடு நாள்பட்ட ஆற்றல் குறைபாடு உள்ள பெண்களின் எண்ணிக்கையும் கணிசமாக உள்ளது. சிறுவர்களுக்கான உணவு பாதுகாப்பை உணர்ந்து பள்ளி செல்லும் குழந்தைகள் பசியோடு பாடம் படிக்கக்கூடாது என்ற அடிப்படையில் மதிய உணவோடு சிறார்கள் ஊட்டச்சத்தையும் பெற வேண்டும் என்ற நோக்கில் நாட்டிலேயே முன்னோடி திட்டமான சத்துணவு திட்டத்தை 1983ஆம் ஆண்டு அன்றைய முதல்வர் டாக்டர் புரட்சித் தலைவர் எம்ஜிஆர் அவர்கள் தொடங்கி வைத்தார்கள். ஏழைகள் தானியம் என அழைக்கப்படும் சிறுதானியங்கள் ஊட்டச்சத்து நிறைந்த தானியமாகும். சமீப காலங்களில் சிறுதானியங்களில் முக்கியத்துவம் உணரப்பட்டு சிறுதானிய பாரம்பரிய உணவு முறை பிரபலமடைந்து வணிக உணவாக முக்கியத்துவம் பெற்று வருகிறது. தமிழகத்தில் சிறுதானியங்கள் 8.013 லட்சம் ஹெக்டேர் பரப்பில் சாகுபடி செய்யப்பட்டது. இதன் உற்பத்தி 28.88 லட்சம் மெட்ரிக் டன் ஆகும். தற்போது மாண்புமிகு தமிழக முதல்வர்களின் தீவிர முயற்சியால் 2017-18ஆம் ஆண்டில் சிறுதானிய உற்பத்தி சாகுபடி பரப்பு சுமார் 1.157 லட்சம் ஹெக்டேர் அதிகரிக்கப்பட்டு 9.17 லட்சம் ஹெக்டேராக உயர்ந்தது. 2017-18ஆம் ஆண்டிற்கு சிறுதானிய பயிர்கள் மேம்பாட்டிற்காக தேசிய உணவு பாதுகாப்பு இயக்கத்தின் கீழ் 10 மாவட்டங்களில் ரூபாய் 5.77 கோடி செலவில் திட்டம் செயல்படுத்தப்பட்டு 26,741 விவசாயிகள் பயனடைந்துள்ளனர். எண்ணெய் வித்துக்களை பொறுத்தவரை தமிழ்நாட்டில் எண்ணெய் வித்து பயிர்கள் பரப்பளவில் 88% நிலக்கடலை பயிரிடப்படுகிறது. எண்ணெய் வித்துகள் சராசரியாக 4 லட்சம் ஹெக்டேர் பரப்பளவில் பயிரிடப்பட்டு 9 லட்சம் மெட்ரிக் டன் உற்பத்தி செய்யப்படுகிறது. தேசிய அளவில் எண்ணெய் வித்துகள் உற்பத்தியில் முதலிடத்தை தமிழ்நாடு தக்க வைத்துள்ளது. தேசிய வேளாண் வளர்ச்சி திட்டத்தில் எண்ணெய் வித்துகள் உற்பத்தி மேம்பாட்டு திட்டத்திற்கு 2017-18 ஆண்டிற்கு ரூபாய் 4.24 கோடி ஒதுக்கீடு செய்யப்பட்டது. மரவகை எண்ணெய் வித்து பயிர்களுக்கு தேசிய உணவு பாதுகாப்பு இயக்கத்தின் கீழ் 2017-18 ஆண்டிற்கு ரூபாய் 1.79 கோடி ஒதுக்கீடு செய்யப்பட்டுள்ளது. உணவு பாதுகாப்பை உறுதி செய்ய பொது விநியோக முறையை துவக்கி பருப்பு வகைகளையும் பாமாயில் எண்ணெயையும் குறைந்த விலையில் வழங்கி வருகிறது தமிழக அரசு. பொது விநியோக திட்டத்தின் முன்னோடி மாநிலமாக புரட்சித் தலைவி அம்மாவுடையான தமிழக அரசு திகழ்கிறது. மத்திய அரசு ஒதுக்கும் நிதியை விட கூடுதல் செலவு ஏற்படும் இடங்களில் நிதிச்சுமையை தமிழக அரசை ஏற்றுக்கொள்கிறது. ஊட்டச்சத்து குறைபாடுகளை போக்க உணவு உற்பத்தியை பெருக்குதல், விவசாயிகளின் வருமானத்தை பெருக்குதல் என்ற நிலையில் இருந்து அந்தந்த பகுதிகளில் செய்யப்படும் வேளாண் முறைகள் மூலம் ஊட்டச்சத்து குறைபாடுகளை களைவதற்கான அவசியத்தையும் வழிமுறைகளையும் வேளாண் அறிஞர் அவர்கள் வலியுறுத்தியுள்ளார்கள். இதை மேலெடுத்து செல்லும் விதமாக விஞ்ஞானிகள் மற்றும் அறிவியலாளர்கள் பயன்பெறும் வகையில் நடைபெறும் இந்த ஊட்டச்சத்திற்கான விவசாய முறைகள் கருத்தரங்கம் வெற்றி பெற தமிழக விவசாயிகள் பயன்பல அடைய தமிழக அரசு சார்பாகவும் எனது சார்பாகவும் வாழ்த்துக்களை தெரிவித்து மீண்டும் மேதகு இந்திய குடியரசு துணைத் தலைவர் அவர்களுக்கு என்னுடைய வணக்கங்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இந்த வாய்ப்பினைய அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய நன்றியை தெரிவித்து விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, Minister. I now request the Honorable Vice President of India to deliver his address.
மீன்வளத்து துறை அமைச்சர் திரு ஜெயக்குமார் அவர்களே, வேளாண் துறை அமைச்சர் திரு ஆர் துரைக்கண்ணு அவர்களே, விவசாய தந்தை MS சுவாமிநாதன் அரசு அறக்கட்டளை நிறுவனத் தலைவர் திரு MS சுவாமிநாதன் அவர்களே, தேசிய மானவாரி பகுதி அதிகார அமைப்பு தலைமை நிர்வாக அதிகாரி ஸ்ரீ அசோக் தல்வாய் அவர்களே, டாடா ட்ரஸ்ட் நிர்வாக இயக்குனர் திரு வெங்கட்ராமன் அவர்களே, MS சுவாமிநாதன் ஆராய்ச்சி அறக்கட்டளை நிர்வாக இயக்குனர் டாக்டர் வி செல்வம் அவர்களே, திருமணி ருக்மிணி அவர்களே, இன்றை நிகழ்ச்சி சிக்கி வந்திருக்கும் அனைத்து தமிழ வழங்குக்கும் வணக்கம். தமிழும் தமிழ்நாடும் எனதிற்கு நெருக்கமானவை. I always feel very happy to come to Tamil Nadu, this part of the country. Friends, you are all aware that the parliament is on and parliament is functioning. I am happy about it, country also is happy about it. Because normally parliament has to function. And this time people say monsoon is good and also monsoon session also is likely to be good. Session is on. In spite of that, I have accepted this program because of my admiration and liking for Dr. Swaminathan ji and also the great work he has done for the agriculture sector in the country. We can proudly call him as a Vyavasaya Guru. He has been right from the day one. He has been guiding the nation, doing research himself, encouraging researchers, and also visiting number of countries, acquiring knowledge, spreading knowledge, and then dissemination of information with confirmation. That are the specialities of Dr. Swaminathan ji. So I always have a special liking for him. When he was in parliament or outside the parliament, whenever he gives a statement, I go through from top to bottom because he is a treasure of knowledge, particularly on the agriculture sector. Very few people in the country, unfortunately after independence, have focused enough on agriculture. They have been focusing on various issues, but the intelligentsia of the country, the planners, policy makers of the country, they have paid attention to agriculture, but I feel they should have paid much more attention to agriculture because agriculture is our basic culture of India. More than 54 to 60% of the people, even still today, they depend on agriculture. And agriculture, you see the name, Vyavasayam. Sayam means help. The very word That's why I call it as part of our culture. Helping others, share and care is the core philosophy of India. And this community, agriculture community, they have contributed to the country by producing food for the people. Friends, today the problem is not of shortage. Thanks to Swaminathanji and other great people, we have now food production which is as of now sufficient. But a country like India with 130 crore population, ever increasing population, we are also not focusing our attention on that aspect also. For political reasons, for political parties also are keeping quiet on that particular issue. We cannot depend on, I borrow this sentence from Swaminathanji's report and also his speeches, that we cannot depend on imported food security. We need to develop a homegrown food security. This one word alone is a powerful message to all the people in the country. Homegrown food security. We are not Dubai. We are not Singapore. We are not other small countries where everything you see in Dubai, in Singapore, you get all sorts of fruits. Fruits, everything. Fresh also, looks fresh. But they are all imported. Because the population there is small, they can, and their economies also are good. But here in our country, you need to produce food for this many number of people. That's one thing. And then in certain areas now, the problem of malnutrition. That is also an alarming thing for the nation. After 70 years of independence and civilizational advancement, if there are malnutrition deaths in the country, this is really a challenge to all of us, including people in the government and who are all in the system. So dear brothers and sisters, today we have gathered here to deliberate on one of the pressing issues facing our country, namely the problem of malnutrition. It is a matter of concern that number of hungry people in the world has risen for the first time in more than a decade, according to the Sustainable Development Goals Report 2018 of the United Nations, released on June 20th, 2018. The report mentioned that the proportion of the undernourished people worldwide increased from 10.6% in 2015 to 11% in 2016. This translates to 815 million people worldwide in 2016 from 777 million in 2015. There are now approximately 38 million more undernourished people in the world than 2015. One of the reasons is the growing economic disparities. The countries, the nation, every nation should focus on inclusive growth. Mere growth alone will not suffice. You need to have inclusive growth. I am happy that the Prime Minister, Narendra Bhai Modi, is focusing on inclusive growth. I will come to that little later. The increase in number of hungry people in the world is an enigma. The extent of malnutrition in India is incredibly high. However, it tends to be relegated to the background in policy debates, unfortunately. We are discussing political issues. Simple political issues also we are trying to magnify. We are trying to create problems on the basis of caste, creed, sex, religion and region, even after 70 years. And we are also inventing issues, forgetting the real issues, and not giving enough attention to those burning issues which should have got adequate and more focus. Therefore, it's quite heartening that the father of India's Green Revolution, Dr. Swaminathanji, has conveyed this consultation meeting with a view to connect agriculture with nutrition. New connect. In 2017, 151 million children under age 5 suffered from stunting, low height for their age. 51 million people suffered from wasting low weight for height. And 38 million were overweight according to the Sustainable Development Goals. In India, a considerable section of the population suffers from malnutrition, consisting of undernutrition, hidden hunger, caused by micronutrient deficiencies. Hidden hunger, a beautiful phrase coined by Swaminathanji, because of nutritional deficiency. Many of us also are suffering from the same. Of course, We can afford, but at the same time, we do not know what is good for us, what is bad for us. We are being carried away by the advertisement, by the branding, and by the TV and television and media coverage of going for these fast foods, forgetting our own foods. We are running after fast foods, and then forgetting our own tasty food, we look for something else because of the little influence of, as I told you, the Western media campaign. We have such beautiful food items in India, and particularly in South India, which are time tested, but we try to run after burgers, pizzas, and then you go for what is that, chicken Manchuria, Bulgaria, Somalia, forget. And then that's causing us problems for the people who can afford. Because our food systems and food habits are time tested. They have been given by our forefathers after living thousands of years. And every season, according to the season, the food is prepared. But now we are forgetting seasons and also reasons. And we are living on illusions. So keeping this in mind, we have to focus more on this. The 1/3 children suffering from the problems of stunting below the age of 5 are stunted, while 35.7% are underweight, with more than 1/3 children suffering from the problems of stunting and underweight. And we need to address this problem. Some people are suffering with underweight. Many people are suffering with overweight. So we have to correct this. We need to address this problem on a war footing for the country's population to remain healthy. Because a healthy India can become a wealthy India. But there is no guarantee that wealthy India can become a healthy India. That's why our forefathers used to say, Arogyame Mahabhagyam. Health is wealth. They said, they never said wealth is health. The NFHS 4 also revealed that 1/5 of women in the reproductive age group are estimated to be suffering from chronic energy deficiency, while another 1/5 are obese. More than 50% of children and women suffer from anemia. It is quite distressing that in spite of efforts taken by successive governments, at the center and states, the problem of malnutrition persists in India at unacceptable levels. I don't say that the governments have not focused attention. They have focused attention. They made attempts. Here, where in Tamil Nadu, the late M.G. Ramachandran, he has focused on children's health and their food long back. He has introduced a scheme also for the children. Even the midday meal scheme at Kamrajji also, and then M.G. Ramachandran. Different governments have done different things. Some of the major contributory factors for the malnutrition are the quantitative and qualitative deficits in food intake, environmental conditions, and access to health. Here, I would like to remind you that our founding fathers, while drafting the Constitution, has kept all these things in mind and made a provision in Article 47 under Directive Principles of State Policy. Article 47 of the Constitution states that, I quote, the state shall regard raising the level of nutrition and standard of living of its people and improvement in public health among its primary duties. Any approach to address the problems of malnutrition will have to pay concurrent attention to food and non-food factors that influence nutritional status. 3 types of nutritional deficiencies are observed in India. 1. Calorie deficiency due to inadequate consumption of food. 2. Protein deficiency due to inadequate consumption of pulses, milk, egg, etc. 3. Micronutrient deficiency or hidden hunger due to inadequacy of iron, iodine, zinc, vitamin A, vitamin B12, etc. So I am glad that Indian government is extremely concerned with the status of malnutrition in the country and has adopted the National Nutrition Strategy in September 2017 to address the problems. This policy recognizes the imperative need to have a relook at our agriculture policy. We must make agriculture nutrition sensitive. it is critical that we explicitly make this vital connection between agriculture and nutrition. While we have, by and large, achieved food security, there is an increasing recognition today that food production has to be modified to achieve nutritional security. Our success in food production, combined with our policies and public distribution of food grains, resulted in achieving problem of hunger for the marginalized sections of our country. Yet, as these statistics show, our malnutrition status is grave, and it's time for us to move towards achieving nutrition security for all. Dear brothers and sisters, it is high time that we diversify our food production by moving away from monocropping of major cereals to a system that integrates a variety of food items including small millets, pulses, fruits and vegetables. Pulses cultivation will not only help in improving nutrient-rich food production, but also in restoring nutrient value to the soil. This is important. On the economic side, it will reduce our import burden as nearly 6 million tons of pulses are being imported. That's why the government, you might have seen, have increased MSP and also giving other incentives for pulses production in different parts of the country. Millets like jowar, bajra, ragi and little millets like kutki, kodo, sawa, kagni and china are known to be nutrient rich. Since cultivation of millets requires less water, efforts must be to promote their cultivation as part of crop rotation. I remember as a child, we used to eat ragi, jowar, bajra and other food, and we used to be strong. Now, as we are all fascinated towards the rice, that to rice without substance, we remove everything because we want white, polish rice. Polish means remove everything useful and keep the useless. That is called as polish. So that's why these problems are coming. Otherwise, how strong children used to be and people used to be and all, how strong they are as are now in our country. So we must get back to those habits. Now you find here and there an organic food and natural food, and then you have ragi mudde, natukodi pulusu, ragi mudde. You have different items coming in only in 5-star hotels. They should come to ordinary hotels, and ordinary people should be made to understand the importance of that food, the nutritional value of that food. It's not for fashion alone. This has to be understood, and media and other well-meaning people should highlight more and more on that. That will be really useful to convey the message to the people. I am glad that the Government of India has declared 2018 as the National Year of Millets, with a view to provide nutritional security and prevent malnutrition. Dear sisters and brothers, apart from encouraging nutritionally rich crops, there is a need to create a market for such items. Promoting or supplying them through public distribution system can be a good option. Government should be dare enough to give them 5 kilos of this, and remaining thing you can give rice, because straight away you can't reduce rice, because though it's nice, you know the cost. I'm not talking the economic cost, but political cost. Innocent people without understanding, they will start shouting. Political parties also. They compete with each other, forgetting the nutritional value. We need to promote or supply these through public distribution system. That will be a good option. The country should seriously think about it. Political parties also should seriously think about it. We need to create awareness among the people about the importance of nutritional value of food products. I would like to call upon institutions like Indian Council of Agriculture Research, Krishi Vijnana Kendras to take the lead in educating our farmers. Mere research in lab alone will not suffice. Friends, I can tell you, after becoming a vice president, earlier I used to be 24/7 active. So after becoming vice president, people are worried, even I was worried what I will do here with all this protocol. The protocol means the vice president comes to the dais, then Janaganamana, then the speech, Janaganamana, Namaskar, and go away. This can be done through video conferencing also. You must come, meet people, greet people, talk to them, walk with them. Some exchange of ideas and all. Slowly I am trying to bring in. So I found a way out. I said I will have 4 categories. One, I will visit all the universities in the country to the extent possible. So already I have covered around 55 universities in this 11.5 months. Then I said I will interact with the students. And then I will visit all the research centers. Research in different parts of the country. How many research labs are there? Amazing. But are these research lab is reaching the land? That's the focus I am trying to tell those scientists. Because science is for development of the living standard of the people. So keeping that in mind, that should really reach people and they must be made to understand the importance of it. And the third one is meeting agriculturists. Reaching research institutions connected with agriculture. Because agriculture is not only my passion. Some people have, people say, sir, this fellow is having caste feeling, that fellow is having regional feeling, this fellow is having regional feeling, this fellow is having language feeling. I am having agriculture feeling. I have no hesitation in saying it. I am born in that community. And I feel proud. I told you, Vyavasayam, help. That's a part of our culture. And they are doing such a great job, but unfortunately they are not getting their due. That's why people are migrating. Even otherwise migration is there from rural areas to urban areas because of education, employment, entertainment, economic upliftment and enhanced medical facilities. People are leaving villages and coming to towns. Even politically I migrated from rural development to urban development. Earlier I was a rural development minister in Vajpayee's government. Later I became urban development minister in Modi's government. I asked my friends, what is this? Why? What can I? They said, a lot of people are coming from a rural area to urban area. You will take care of them. So I said, okay, okay. The point is urbanization, of course, irreversible. But at the same time, you must take care to see that agriculture becomes sustainable, viable. And people should feel that they are also being heard and their interests are taken care simply because they have no voice or they can't make a noise like others. They should not be ignored. They should be adequately protected. That's what I am saying. This is for all political parties, planning commission, parliament, political parties, press. Everybody should focus their attention. And press is doing injustice to, I can tell you, to agriculture and rural people. Because they are not organized. And they can't create nuisance because they have the sense. And media is going for sensationalism. Sensationalism means senselessness. You must focus on something happening constructive. Constructive. If Venkaiah Naidu is a minister and he has been there here in Chennai, there would have been at least 25 channels. Today I am here as a vice president. They know that I don't speak other than the subject. Less interest. Less interest. This is a reality today. It's not fair. The point is that many number of, after all, what for we? We are here to serve the people, to highlight their problems, the suppressed, the depressed, oppressed people, the neglected people, reaching the unreached. That should be our priority. And the agriculture sector needs more attention by all these P's. Peace means Planning Commission of Niti Aayog, Parliament, press, political parties and people. All this, they have to have some sort of a favorable, positive bias, not negative, towards agriculture, so that it can sustain and you will have homegrown food security. Otherwise, you will be compelled. Please remember the days of PL 480. Thanks to Swaminathanji, thanks to people like C. Subramaniam, late C. Subramaniam, again a great son from this great land. All these people have contributed immensely and scores of researchers across the country. So it is our duty to see that agriculture is made sustainable. The government of India really doing lot of initiatives. The Prime Minister himself was concerned. As long as I was a minister, he used to regularly ask me about agriculture, and also whoever comes with some idea, I used to tell them also go to Venkaiah, discuss with him and all. So that's why I have decided to focus on agriculture and go around the agriculture institutes. And also the fourth thing I am focusing is about culture. Keeping our culture, our heritage, our tradition, our language. All these things are very much necessary. Yesterday you might have seen some Ganesh Denny. He said more than 800 languages have died. Original languages. Same thing will happen to our languages also. Because of this colonial rule, They have not only rooted us, cheated us, they changed our mindset also, cheated our minds also, and developed us weakness for English. Nothing wrong in learning English. We must learn. But before that, you must master our mother tongue, preserve our mother tongue. Recently, I have been to Latin American countries. Friends, I can share you. None of them, Guatemala, Panama, and Peru, 3 countries, none of them remember their original languages. All are speaking Spanish, because the mother language has vanished. That thing should not happen to us. We are a great nation, because bhasha or bhavana, language and your thoughts, it go together. Tamil, how much is there to study, the literature, the great work done by Subramanya Bharati, so many people. All this, our children should read more and more, and then they will be able to express better. That's why recently I have taken initiative in Parliament. Now parliamentarians can speak in 24 languages, 22 Indian languages. I brought that change. Earlier also some efforts have been made. But now people are free. They will be able to express themselves in a better manner. And then learn other languages. Even I am suggesting that people should learn Hindi also. I know that I am in South and Chennai. And then learn English. But first learn your mother tongue. Master the mother tongue. That is very much important so that your original thoughts can come. They are connected with the culture. That's why the foreign rulers, wherever they have gone, the French or the Portuguese or English people, they first targeted the culture and they found it's not easy, so they targeted the language. And then linked language with government jobs. So the result, everybody started going to that. How many people in Tanjavur, how many people in Tiruchendur or Tiruvannamalai can understand English in the village? They know Tamil. If you are a minister, if you are an IAS officer, whatever officer you are, you must learn and speak in the local language. Then only you will be able to communicate and you will be able to involve. This is a simple thing. We should have focused our attention more to promoting mother tongue, national languages and protecting Indian languages rather than continuing the same system. Yes, additionally, one should learn English. That's an extra this thing. There can be incentive for that also, but forgetting the mother language, mother tongue is no good at all. I have taken it as a mission to go around the country and tell the people and forewarn them that there is a danger of losing our identity, our languages, if they forget the mother tongue. The Professor Swaminathan's suggestions of leveraging agriculture to achieve this goal of nutrition security is an extremely important one, particularly so in the countries such as India, where a considerable section are still dependent on agriculture and allied sectors. Professor Swaminathanji has conceptualized and guided his research foundation to promote the farming systems for nutrition, FSN, and is one of the approaches to tackle household food and nutrition insecurity in India, rural India. The concept of FSN is a sustainable framework of farming. It involves crops, farms, animals and fish. In addition, this approach calls for the integration of the interventions in non-farm sectors like hygiene and sanitation to improve nutrition. It addresses different human nutritional needs across the gender and age groups through the life cycle. We must also change our lifestyle, go back to our original traditional thing. Secondly, we must also remember that nature is important, otherwise you have seen the climate change. We need to create that greenery. That's why I say, love the nature and live with the nature. Love and live. Nature, culture, together for better future. That also has to be understood by one and all. The FSN model is a location-specific, inclusive model based on the resource empowerments and specific environment that shall address the nutritional needs of families. Underlying the concept of FSN is a principle that household food production is important to the diets of farm families, particularly smallholders. At the macro level, the concepts call for a diversity in food production, moving away from monocropping of major cereals to a system that integrates variety of food items, including small millets, pulses, fruits and vegetables. In accordance with the suggestions given by Swaminathanji, for a synergetic approach to integrate agriculture, nutrition and health, the National Nutrition Strategy was taken up by the government of India, following his suggestions. Recognizes the importance of the multi-dimensional approach to address the malnutrition. This strategy envisages a role for the Ministry of Agriculture, both at the center and the states. This recognition of nutrition-sensitive agriculture in national policy would hopefully bring about significant impact on the nutrition status of children. I have great pleasure in inaugurating the National Consultation on Leverage Agriculture of Nutrition. I wish all the participants success in their deliberations. Meet, greet, exchange, know the best practices. That has been our system. We should learn from others' experience. We should improve our knowledge. That is possible through such consultations. This consultation is very important. Consultation is very important than insultations. What is happening? You have seen everybody try to insult the others. More particularly political people. See, I hope these discussions will come up with substantial recommendations which will help in reducing the malnutrition levels in our country. Friends, as I told you, I feel it is a privilege for me to come here to address this. Today I have come particularly for two reasons. One, because of my respect for him and also the importance of the subject here. Then another important program attending is the ophthalmology conference organized by Shankar Netralaya, Dr. Badrinath, another great son of this great soil. Today, before I go back to Delhi, I thank the organizers, MS Swaminathan Foundation, for giving me this opportunity to participate in this program. Nandri, Vanakkam.
Thank you, sir, for that inspiring speech. I now request Dr. Rukmini, Director Food Security Program, MSSRF, to deliver the vote of thanks.
On behalf of the trustees, staff, and scholars of the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, I thank you, Honorable Vice President of India, for having given us your time for inaugurating the National Consultation on Leveraging Agriculture for Nutrition. Thank you, sir, for your special remarks, highlighting the contribution of our dear professor, and for your perspective on what needs to be done by the country and what is being done by the government to alleviate the problem of malnutrition. We are thankful to Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Government of Tamil Nadu, for accepting our request to be the guest of honor and for highlighting the important initiatives undertaken by the Government of Tamil Nadu. We thank Honorable Minister for Fisheries, Government of Tamil Nadu, for joining us in welcoming the Honorable Vice President of India. Our respected founder chairman, Professor Swaminathan, after having led the country to achieve self-sufficiency in food grains, in his quest for a world without hunger, is guiding us towards a pathway for nutrition security. We thank you, sir, for your visionary leadership and guidance. We are also thankful to you for setting the tone for the consultation, highlighting the need to leverage agriculture for nutrition in the present Indian context. We thank Shri Ashok Dalwai for joining us in welcoming the Honorable Vice President of India and for his kind consent to deliver special remarks on the main theme in today's consultation. We thank Shri R. Venkataramanan, Managing Trustee, Tata Trust, for joining us in welcoming the Honorable Vice President of India and for the long-standing relationship between the Tata Trust and our foundation. Our sincere thanks to all the distinguished participants and speakers for taking time off from their busy schedules to be here with us. We thank our friends from the media for the coverage of the event. Last but not the least, I thank Dr. Selvam, our Executive Director, and all my colleagues at the Foundation who have worked tirelessly to make this event a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rukmini. Let us once again rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तव जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।